out when I was young, and just growing up with my family, and my family just is kind of broken and kind of got a lot of junk, a lot of stuff involved, and so when I was young, I would hear a lot of just like arguments between my parents and just a lot of brokenness, and so I just started to look for love and look for acceptance, and I didn't know where to look for it, and so I just kept searching, and I just kept looking for something, because I knew that there was something. I knew that there was someone that would just accept who I was just for who I was, but I didn't know who or what I was looking for. And so when I was at school, I just continued to look for that acceptance and continued to look for that love from other people, and I would pretty much do anything to get the love and the affection of other people, especially those that, who were a little bit more popular than me or whatnot. And I just looked for that acceptance, and I just, it was for about all through elementary school and middle school, and I just looked up to so many people, and I was like, I want that kind of life, whatever they were living, and I just kept searching and looking, and I couldn't find acceptance, and no matter what I did, no matter what kind of stuff happened, I just wasn't finding that acceptance. I wasn't finding that love that I was looking for. And when I was about 16 years old, I was a freshman in high school, and I got invited to Zoe, which is the youth ministry here, and I just, something was different, something was real. The people and it was, that first night through the entire first year of my walk with God, my salvation, I just began to pour my heart out to God, and I just sat at the front of the room every worship service, and I just poured my heart out to Him, and there's a lot of healing that took place in that year, and there's a lot of restoration, and I found what I was looking for. I found a God who accepted me, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to be anyone. I just had to sit in His presence. And so that's what I did. And it was about a year or so that I just sat in His presence, and I just waited on Him. And it was about after that year that there was an all worship night, and I just sat before God, and the entire time I just wept, and I cried out, and I wrote on my hand, I don't want to be afraid anymore. And I showed it to one of my friends, and I just wept the entire night, even on the way home. And I just cried my heart out to God. And it was in that moment that God just broke me. And I see that as like the true point of my salvation, even though I had given my life to Christ a year beforehand, but it was after that point of healing and restoration that God did in my life and in my heart that I really began to follow after God. And so all throughout high school, that's pretty much what I was doing. I was getting involved, and I was doing all this stuff, but most of all, I was just learning how to love God and learning how to be with Him, learning how to be in prayer and to be still. And so that's what I did. And I don't know, I moved through college, and that heart and that love for prayer and for God to just to be with Him and to sit with Him walked with me wherever I was at. And when I was in college, I was just like bombarded with like wanting to know the truth, and just like knowing what I believe and why I believe it, and not just taking it for granted, but actually understanding who God is and what it was that my faith was about. And so my 4 years at college, that's what everything was about. And I come out of college now, and God is moving mountains in my heart, and there's there's still a lot of work that I have to do, and there's a lot of stuff that, like, God teaching me how to grow in intimacy and love for Him even deeper and even more, and learning how to forgive in ways that I don't know how at this point. But sitting at the throne of God and sitting in prayer has changed my life, and being with God and loving Him and honoring Him and glorifying Him in everything that I do.